Hey guys, in this video we're going to be talking about where the money is at for developers and entrepreneurs that know how to code. Okay, so let's get started, man. I know some of you guys have heard of software as a service, right? And I do want to go in and mention this, just a disclaimer, right? And just a little notice for everybody. If you are a junior developer or even somebody that's still learning how to code or even thinking about learning how to code, this is something that you can have in the back of your mind and you can start writing ideas. And this is for you guys to start brainstorming. Now, for those of you guys that know full stack development, right? This is something that you guys need to start doing now. Stop wasting time. Don't leave it for last minute. Start now, okay? It's fine to make mistakes. This is how you learn. Okay, some of you guys can do this, but you're too scared to fail. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys like that, beginners, this is something that you gonna start looking forward to. And for those of you guys that are already in the game, you need to start now. So let's get into it. All right, we're gonna start the first thing by giving you guys an example of somebody who's making a killing right now with software as a service, right? For those of you guys that don't know what that means, that just basically means creating some type of software and selling it to other people as a service, like a subscription or, etc., right? Or charging per usage. Okay, so again, this individual that we're going to talk about is going to be Alex Becker. Okay, some of you guys might know him, some of you guys might not know him. Okay, good old Alex Becker. You guys have seen him on YouTube, maybe some ads, maybe some crypto videos, right? This guy, he's been around for a long time. Some courses, like he's been around. Okay, but from my understanding, he started in the world of WordPress. Yes. Yes, WordPress. Good old WordPress. Okay. A lot of people they look down on WordPress, but there's money in WordPress. From my understanding, he was like creating, like websites for companies and like, local businesses and things like that. Then got into the world of marketing, right? Then from there, once he got into the world of marketing, he learned a couple of things, right? Then from there, he started selling courses on the things that he learned, right? Sometimes people, they look down on people who sell courses or things like that. It's like, guys, if there wasn't guys selling courses online right now, a lot of us wouldn't be here, right? Like, that's the truth. Okay, we are basically getting training from people that have actually made it at a price that is dirt cheap when you really think about it. Okay, so again, take that idea out of your head where you're like, man, this guy's selling courses. I used to be like that, right? Now I realize that, yeah, guess what? Everything that I've had success in, I actually bought a course from somebody else, right? Either signed up for a mastermind or I signed up for a subscription base or I bought the course. Like literally, I have a master's degree in online courses. I've bought so many courses from people, it's crazy. But I've learned so much from people that, they're sharing their experience and they're sharing, how to succeed and get to the same level as them. Okay, now I never bought anything from Alex Becker, but I know this guy is legit because I know a lot of people who have bought his courses and things like that. But the thing that interests me is the fact that he does pretty much the same thing that I do, which is I start here, right? I learn things from here. Then from there, I go in and create something else that makes money from what I learned from there. And they're all related to each other. So I'm going to break this down, right? How he's doing it. So for him, he started in the world of WordPress, did the marketing, did the courses, right? He realized that when he's running ads, he can't keep track of, if he's getting a sale through the phone, if he's getting a sale when somebody buys something directly on the website, if he's getting a sale through YouTube, if he's getting a sale through Facebook, if he's getting a sale through Instagram. So he realized there's a problem. Most of this companies, and YouTube is a different company, Google's a different company, and Facebook's a different company, TikTok is a different company. How do you keep track of all of the ads that you are putting out there to sell your products? So because he also has that background of development, right? He goes in and says, hey, let's go in and actually create a service, right? Let's create a service that's keeping track of all of the sales. By the way, if you're interested in learning more about how his software his software that is called Hyros, if you're more interested in knowing how that works, I'm gonna put a link for you guys to watch this video, so you guys can understand how Hyros work. Okay, that's the name of his software company. But again, because he saw a problem that he was facing, he decided, I'm going to create a software for it. Okay, investing his own money to get it built, right? So then now he's selling that software that he realized that, shoot, it works great for me and it solves my problem as somebody who's selling products online. Now I can go in and reach out to all of these other people, right, who's having most likely the same problem, and then charge them for it. So Hyros, for those of you guys that don't know, sorry about that, I'm getting calls from people, but Hyros, it's basically, again, this software, this is the website Hyros.com, right? Keeps track of all of this different things. Well, when you're running ads, you're doing sales, etc., right? It's a pretty nice website. But when you go to the pricing, you realize there's no price. For you to get a price, we need to sit down. Let's have a chat. Let's talk. Okay? Now, this is the best way to actually do it, the way how he's doing it, because if you go in and you say, well, the pricing is $20, some people will sign up, right? And most likely people will sign up for it because $20 is not much. But when you're dealing with something that's gonna save you thousands and thousands of dollars, right? And you're gonna make so much money from it, right? You can't really sell this just with a regular link. You need to sit down with the individual and talk about what are the benefits that you're gonna get, because they're gonna get benefits out of this thing, right? But you need to book a call to find out the price, and then from there get started with his software. Now, he has some of the biggest guys signed up on this thing. He has, I believe, like Tony Robbins. He got the guys from Dan Henry. He has what's the other guy, Impact Theory. He has this other guy too who's pretty famous, ClickFunnels, the guys from Samcar, Shopnova. Let me see, he has this guy, Dean Graziosi, again, Tony Robbins. He has a lot of big guys that are on this software, and they're using it because it works. Okay, now let's talk about the pricing model on how this thing is, again, being charged, right? So he's basically starting at $3.99 per month. Okay, so $399, that's how much it costs for small to medium-sized companies. But this thing could go up to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, depending on the scale, how big your company is, how many traffic you have, etc. It's a lot of different things that could change the pricing, right? But what's interesting is that he's charging on a 12 months basis. Like, he's just going in and say, hey man, we got this service. It's gonna save you so much money. You're gonna make a lot of money from this because you're gonna know exactly where your ad spend is actually going to, and which ads are the ones that's actually working. Because sometimes when you're running ads, you could run ads, but if you're not tracking them properly, you won't know that it's actually making money. But with this software, you can actually keep track of those things. So that's the most amazing thing about it, right? So again, at that point, people that's making $20,000, $30,000 a month or more, they're willing to spend $4,000. If you're going in and you're spending, $50,000 a month in ads, you're willing to spend $4,000 or $3,000 a month to make sure that if you're investing your money into ads, that you're going to get that money back, and you know exactly which ads is the ones that's working. Now, again, the most interesting thing for me is that he's actually charging, for the whole year. He's like, hey man, we know for sure this thing is going to work. We know this thing is good, and we're going to charge you the whole year. So meaning that if you go in and you say, well, let's bring out the calculator. Good old calculator never lets you down, right? So let's pull out the calculator right now. If you go in and you say, well, let's say $399 times 12, right? That's about $4,788. Okay? Yes, that's how much he's charging to the small business. You get what I'm saying? The really small guys like, yo, we start at $5,000, bro. That's for the whole year. Okay? Now, if you go in and you say, well, I'm charging, a guy that's, decent size, let's say $2,000, right? $2,000 a month times, let's say 12. We're talking about $24,000. Now, let's say he has an average, right? He's running ads. He's, promoting his service. Got the big guys in it already. Let's say he goes in and he basically has, let's say, 500 customers. 500 customers. And those 500 customers give him an average of $13,000, right? $13,000 per month, right? This is $6.5 million. Okay? 500 customers. So meaning that there could be people that's paying way more. There could be people paying way more on a yearly basis. Matter of fact, it's not monthly, but on a yearly basis, right? You have people that's paying, an average. Let's say some people's paying $2, $4,000, $5,000, whatever it is. Some people are paying $10,000. Some people are paying $20,000. Some people are paying $25,000, right? But the average of individuals is like $13,000. So let's say across the board, the median is, let's say, is around there, right? $13,000. So we're talking about $6.5 million. Okay, that's how much he's making from this software alone. Now, in the future, if he decides to sell this company, he might go in and say, well, if I want to sell this company, I want to sell it, times, let's say, times 20, right? So this is how much money he could actually walk away with, right? $130 million. If somebody comes in and wants to acquire his company, most likely he's going to be anywhere between $60 million to $130 million. That's how much they're going to have to pay somebody like Alex Becker to buy that company. Again, now, why am I sharing all of this with you guys? It's because I want you guys to understand that once you learn how to code, this is just the beginning, okay? And even if you are still in the fence of like, should I learn how to code? Should I not learn how to code? This is the wave, guys, okay? This is the wave. This is what you should be doing. Now, I want to mention for anybody that's a beginner, this is where you want to sit down and you want to think about all of those bullshit jobs that you had, all of those shitty industries that you've worked at before. And then now start writing down ideas of the problems that you had in those industries. Okay. So now as you're writing ideas, you're looking for those problems that those industries had. And then from there, you want to go in and think about how you could solve it with code. Okay. I'm actually doing right now a software as a service for, for landscaping companies right now. Okay, I talked about this maybe like a year, 2 years ago. Maybe I think 2020, we started, building up the idea. We already started doing this. We got 7 customers. It's not much. It's a beginning, right? This is how you start. But we're basically charging $150 per customer. Okay, and this is pretty much the beta. So it's like $150 times 7, right? That's $1,000 that I'm making per month just off this service that I've created. Now we're gonna go in and take this to a higher scale. Now we're going to go in and start running ads and start putting it, all over the United States. I started with this with just trying to see in my local area, not even the whole Tampa, not even the whole Florida, just in my local area. I went in, right? I don't know. I think some of you guys remember. Yeah, I remember when I was talking about this in a live stream like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. My landscaping guy came up to me. He's like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I do websites and mobile applications and things like that." And just to break it down to him, it's like, "I'm a web developer. What does that mean?" So I gotta explain what I actually do. So he was telling me like, "Hey, I would like you to build me a website." And I said, "Hey, man, do some work for me, and I'll build it for you for free." Now, of course, I own the code. I could build a website for the individual, but at the end of the day, it's my code. I'm just, it's a trade that I'm going to host it for you. I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to create the service, right? But by having him give me the idea of like the problems that he's had in his industry, right? I decided, you know what? If he's having this problem, other people are having the same problem. Okay, so I went in and I said, okay, cool. I'm going to help you out. I'm going to build you a website so you could go in. Pretty much it's a web application. It's not really a website, but it's a web application where he could go in and schedule his employees, tell them, what routes they got to go on, what jobs he got to work on. With their phone, they could take a picture of the before and after. They do like a property. And pretty much a whole bunch of other things. I don't want to go in and give the whole details. And somebody say, "Yo, but let me see it." In this day and age, there's certain things I'm not gonna show. You get what I'm saying? Things that I'm making money with, I'm not gonna show just because I learned the past 6 months that most of my subscribers, I'm also creating my own competition. So in this thing, it's a real company that I'm building. I'm not gonna give you guys the whole gist of it, but just know it's a company. Basically, it's a web application for landscaping companies. Now, this idea that I have for this for this application, it can actually work for any type of business that's out there, like as far as service. Let's say you are a cleaning lady. You could come in, keep track. You have a company for cleaning, offices and things like that. Guess what? You can keep track of your employees. You could give them locations. They could take before and after pictures, etc. All of that. So from cleaning services to plumbers to construction workers to remodelers, the guys who do landscaping, pretty much any type of service that's out there, they can use this software, right? Now, this is where the money comes in, right? So we're talking about we already have 7 people signed up, right? How did I get those 7 people? Because this is where people come in and they get scared. They be like, "Man, this is gonna be so difficult." Once you know how to code and you know how to build a web application, the code part is easy, right? The hard part for some people is the marketing side, right? How do you get those customers? How do you get people to come in? You can always say, you could try the freeway. What's the freeway? You could call people's offices, right? And try to talk to them. Guess what? Most of the time, people's going to be like, "Oh, we busy, da, da, da," and they're going to hang up on you. It's a lot of cold calling. That's what you're going to get for free, right? You could go into Facebook groups where people are in those industries and share, "Hey, guys, we got this and that. Oh, you have a problem? You should check out this website." You get what I'm saying? You can't go into Facebook groups and blatantly promote your shit, but you could go in there like, "Oh, somebody had a problem. Oh, you could use this thing. I use it." Act like as if you are also a landscaping guy. So you could use the freeway, right? Now, the best way to actually get customers is with advertisement. Advertisement. That's it. Get in front of the people that actually need your services. People that have let's say, for example, this is how I got my 7 customers for this. Basically, I ran ads on people that had searched for certain tools on, like, let's say on YouTube, right? Or even on Google. Let's say, for example, if somebody comes in and search on YouTube, landscaping company, right? Startup. If they search for this, right, that means that they are looking to start a business, or they already have a landscaping company business. Then from there, I went in and followed all of these guys that's here, right? And then from there, I ran ads on their their YouTube videos. Okay, no one is gonna be watching this guy unless they're they're actually interested in building their own landscaping company business. Okay, so now by me having the solution to their problem, right? And I tried this locally, just because you should never run ads, throughout the whole United States or throughout your whole state unless you actually have a freaking like a business that works and can solve people's problems. You can run a beta test, right? And do it for dirt cheap for people, right? And just let them know, hey man, we're looking to work with you. We're also looking to create the features that you need. So the person knows that initially this is very early on, okay? So you don't want to lose money, because if you go in and start running ads and start signing people up and they sign up and they're like, oh, this shit is not ready, you're never going to get that person back again. So you don't want them to know. Only run it locally and start like that. So this is what I did, right? Ran my ads. People came in, they signed up, got 7 people. We actually had about, I think like 40 people who clicked on the ads, right? Out of the 40 people, 7 of them actually signed up. Okay. So again, it's not a lot of money, right? It's like, making like 1,000 something from it on a monthly basis. But at the end of the day, what's important is that we know this thing works and we know people will sign up for it. Now it's about scaling it. Okay, so this is where I'm at with my own company, right? My own software as a service. Now, I'm sharing all of this again to give you guys motivation, to show you guys how this thing is not like out of this world. It's not that difficult, right? The hardest part is actually, I would say, getting the clients, but I think the hardest part for some of you guys, you might think it's just the code or learning how to code. Is like, no, learning how to code is easy. Like, you come to CodingPhase.com, we teach you exactly how to learn how to code, how to get a job, right? And you might be saying, well, that's it, I don't need a job, I'm just gonna create software as a service, And I'm gonna tell you like this, right? Before you even start doing this, you need to have a steady source of income, because it costs money. Okay, for us to run this application, it already cost me around $150. It's not much, but as we scale, it's gonna cost money, right? The more features we add, the more things people, more things that people need, right? It's gonna cost money. So you need to have money initial money for the investment. You also need to pay for advertisement. For me to get those 7 people, I had to go in and basically run about $1,000 in ads. So meaning that if I didn't have a job or I wasn't making income somewhere else, it would be very difficult for me to come up with an idea and make it, a successful idea. Okay, even though I might have the solution to the problem, how would I be able to let people know about it? Okay, it's difficult without no money. So this is why I tell people, do what I did, right? In 2011, I came in, I didn't know how to code. I was just starting up, but I knew from the beginning that I needed to build capital, right? I have a lot of ideas. I've always been that guy that have a lot of ideas and I implement them. But I always found myself that, even when I used to do music, right? Like some of you guys know, I used to work as a producer, etc. I used to do that my early years in New York City. But I realized that if you don't have like the capital, like somebody else is gonna have to front you the money, and you lose control of your idea. You lose control of your rights, because guess what? They paid for it, right? You're no longer the owner of your idea. They pay for it. And sometimes to get something started, you're going to need money to get started. So at the end of the day, if you don't have no money, you're just going to be a dude in your house with a dream. You know what I mean? You're gonna be on your bed, looking to the sky, looking to the roof, and be like, damn, I got a dream. One day I would like to build this, and that. And this is why I tell people all the time: use the tech industry for what it is. It's a regular job, right? That pays a lot. What do you do when you have money, though? Right? Do you just stay there and be like, well, I got the golden handcuffs. I got my little golden handcuffs. I got my little 401k. I got my little this and that. I got my little job. Nah, you do what I did. You go into the tech industry, you build your capital, and then invest in yourself. Buy crypto, buy stocks, invest in yourself, buy property. You get what I'm saying? So now that you have the capital, you could continue to grow and build wealth. It's not about, I got money. What do you do with that money? Like, you could have money, but money could be done. What you want to do is, how can I make this money make money for me, right? Let me invest this into something that I can make money forever, so you never come back down. You get what I'm saying? Like, once you reach a certain level, you never go back, right? MBA, never broke again. You get what I'm saying? That's how you got to think. Okay, so again, that's what I did with the tech industry. You know what I mean? Like, I came in, got my job, I put in my work, I built my income that I needed to continue building ideas, and it's very hard for me to like go back now. Now it's about, I situate myself and create ideas and implement them. And if I need to invest into them, I have the money to invest in them. Okay, that's the beauty. That's what, the thing that I'm most grateful about becoming a developer. It's just the fact that it gave me the starting point that I needed, right? There's guys that's just like me. Shout out to my boy Will Motivation, who also comes from the background of development, right? If you guys haven't check him out. Go check him out. Will Motivation. He talks about cars and things like that, but the cars is the least interesting thing about him. Like, the cars are amazing, and shoot, he got Lamborghinis, he got Ferraris, but how did he get there? He was basically a student, computer science, created local social network for his college, and then from there, sky's the limit. He made some money, and then now he does real estate. Like, he never looked back after that, right? So all he needed was to get that capital, and all of the ideas that he had, he was able to make them into a reality. This is why I tell people, learning how to code changed my life. It has changed the life of a lot of people, okay? Because this is pretty much is like, you can literally print money with code. Like, literally. There's no other thing that I could think of that's out there that you can do without no degree, without nothing. Like, of course, there's other cool stuff, like if you good with like construction, or you do like plumbing and things like that, you can make some money with that. But this is like, without getting dirty, without freaking blowing your back out, like, yo, you good. This is like in front of a computer, click clack, you know what I'm saying? You're coding, getting fresh air from the AC, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, dudes is outside, like, lifting boxes and shit like that. I'm at home click clacking in shorts. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is the beauty of it, right? So again, learning how to code is one of those things that, if you're not doing that, I don't know what you're doing with your life. This is a great opportunity right now. Okay, now of course you can learn how to code at CodingPhase.com. Right now we have a training that we're running in the description of this video, right, that you guys can go in and follow it along, right? But again, this video is not for me to promote CodingPhase.com or whatever. I just want to go and tell you guys the opportunities that's here, right? It doesn't matter if you're a beginner. It doesn't matter if you are an experienced developer, right? If you're not thinking about solving people's problems, you're always going to be a worker. It doesn't matter that you work at Google, you're a worker at Google. Oh, that you work at Amazon, you work at Apple, you work at whatever company, you're a worker at Apple, you're a worker at Amazon. You still haven't found your freedom yet. You know what I'm saying? You still got to show up to those 9 o'clock meetings. You still got to do your 9 to 5. You get what I'm saying? Now, for you to go in and to like get that freedom to say, you know what, I own my own business. I make my own decisions. I could use whatever stack that I want, right? If you're a programmer, you're a developer, and you're like, man, I love to code. I just don't like coding for other people. That's like me. I don't like coding for other people because they tell me what stack I got to use, what features we got to build. Even though I know sometimes those features are not good, I have to build it because they pay me for it. You get what I'm saying? Now, I go in and I could build the things that I want to build. Like, you know, this application that I built for the landscaping companies, I built it just literally with Laravel. That's it. Laravel, React, and I'm good. That's it. Ta-da! I have fun with it, right? If I would have went to a company and I was working at a company that hired me as a full stack developer and it's like, well, we use Java here. Now I got to use Java. Well, we use Angular here. Now I got to use Angular because that's what they pay me. You know, they pay me to do, right? So again, what I'm saying with this is like, even if you're a beginner and you're thinking about learning how to code and get into the game in the future, you got to start writing down ideas and start thinking about how to find problems, right? And then from there, once you find the problems, how you can solve it with code. Now, if you're already an experienced developer, right now you should be doing this because it takes time. It's, you know, you're going to have failure. You're going to fail here. You're going to fail there. Like right now, I feel like I have success with this new company, but that's after like 10 years of failure. Right? I have like 10 years of failure. Like I did a whole bunch of niche websites. I've done, you know, a whole bunch of different business ideas. You know, I've done famous. I've done, I've done a whole bunch of things. Like, you understand, a whole bunch of small apps that I've created. Some of them took off. Some of them failed, right? Some websites, they're good. Some websites, they're bad. But guess what? By me keep on trying and keep on trying on all of these things, I learn from every single one. Like right now, I feel like I'm like Super Saiyan Joe right now. Super Saiyan level 4 with the blue fur. You get what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel right now. I feel like I reached a level where coding wise, I'm really good. I could build anything. Literally, I could build anything that I want. Okay, from there, I have the idea of, you know, coming up with ideas and being able to find problems. I'm like the guy. Y'all remember? Damn, what was the name of? There was a movie from like not Bruce Willis, Nicolas Cage. I think it was like the National Treasure, where they could just look at a map and they could see in the air like, oh, this is the way to go, and like this is where the cheat code and this and that, like. That's how I feel right now. I could look into an industry, open it up and say, oh, there's a problem here, there's a problem there, this is how we can solve it. I reached that point now. And then on top of that, the marketing side, right? From things from like CodingPhase, from things from like when I was doing drop shipping, you know, like from running ads to, you know, what's the thing that catches people's attention? What are the hooks? You know, what type of script, what type of advertisement works for what type of individual? Like I reached that point. So it's like the trifecta: the technical skills, the ideas, and then the marketing side. But all of those three things, I got it from failures. Not from like, I was born with it. No one's born with this thing. It's just, you got to go in, keep trying, keep building. And then from there, you reach a point where it's like, okay, you find some success from there. And sure, you might fail next week. But guess what? Now, because you failed on that one, you learn from it. And you continue leveling up. You know, I was bringing down to like Dragon Ball Z. Shout out to Dragon Ball Z. But it's like a perfect example. It's like, yo, y'all remember when Goku was fighting Frieza, right? Goku fighting Frieza, right? And you know, Frieza, you know, beat his ass real quick. And then now, next thing you know, Goku was in the hyperbolic chamber, just, yeah, I'll come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, just healing up. And when he comes back, turn Super Saiyan. That's how life is. You got to go in and take the failure. You learn from it. And then you continue moving. That's how you're going to get the real bags. Okay? So again, you gotta come to CodingPhase. You gotta go to CodingPhase.com if you want to learn how to code. Right? This is my service, and I put my freaking, I could vouch for it. I put in a lot of work for this service, and I can tell you it works. Now, you can learn wherever you want to learn, do whatever you want to do, right? But you have to learn how to code. You have to get into this industry. You have to go in and learn skills that you can make money with. Okay? If right now you're like, oh man, I don't know how to make money with, bro, this is where it's at. Okay? It's done wonders for me and for a lot of people. Okay? But you got to come in here not like on some nerdy, I want to learn to code just because I love to code. Nah, you leave that shit for the dudes that want to do that shit. You come into this game with a plan. All right, cool. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to become a content editor. Oh, I could get an HTML email developer. Oh, cool. Let me go in and become a front-end developer. Oh, shoot, I learned so much in this company. Oh, they want me to touch the back end? Cool. I'll touch the back end. Go in there, do my thing, learn about the back end. Oh, shoot, I got an idea. Let me build the idea on the side. Okay? I'm still working. Now I'm a full-stack developer. Oh, shoot, I'm doing this. I'm doing my side income. I'm doing this and that. Oh, I got another idea. Let's build that. Next thing you know, oh, you're making enough money to quit your job. Now you quit your job. The income that you was making on the side, now you're making that shit full time. But now it basically 3 times or 4 times whatever you was making on the side, because now you're putting full time work. Those 2 hours you was putting in the nighttime, now you're actually doing 8 hours a day on your side income. Now you're balling. It's not about going up the ladder, right? Some people be like, "Oh, I want to go up the ladder on a company." It's not about going up the ladder. It's about coming in and be like, "Yo, I'm building my own ladder." You know what I mean? Like, I'm building my own ladder. I'm on this ladder, but I'm not looking to go to the top on somebody else's ladder. I got my own ladder. I build my own ladder. I do whatever I have to do, right? And that's how you're gonna go in and really get the big bags and succeed. It's not about going in and be like, well, let me get the golden handcuffs and be comfortable. That's the easiest route. But that's the one that pays the least. Okay? So again, I gave you all of this information and share this info about Hyros. I'm not connected to this guy. I just respect it. I respect it because to be out here creating, a software and getting people to sign up for $20,000, just like, boom, $20,000. I'm about to sign up, right? I'm thinking about signing up. I just got to go in and see if it makes sense for me at the level that I'm at right now, to just throw $5,000. Plus right now, I'm not really running that many ads. Does it make sense? Let's see in the next 6 months. But there's a lot of people signing up for this thing, man. That's like $6, $7, $8, $10 million a year that this guy's probably making. Just off one software, solving one problem, not solving 20 million problems, not trying to sign up a billion users, right? Sometimes people think like, oh, I gotta create an application that got 1 billion users. It's like when I see people coming in and be like, I'm studying web development, but then I want to also study DevOps and I want to study this and that because I want my application to scale to 1 million users. You don't need an application that scales to 1 million users. You have an application with 500 users and you're making bank. You get what I'm saying? But now you got to solve people's problems. If you solve people's problems, you're going to make money. Okay? This is what we do at CodingPhase. When people be like, yo, what do you do, Joe? People think I sell courses. I don't sell courses. I have a service. I have a platform. We basically teach people how to code, teach them the things that they need to get into a job, right? We have accountability meetings. We have workshops. Right now, we're working on this new program to get people into job placements, giving people the tools that they actually need to get the position. Courses, tutorials, that shit, you see that shit on YouTube. What we do is a service. And this is where the money is at. Creating services for people. Find an issue. Find a problem. This is what I did with CodingPhase. in 2017. 2017, a lot of people wanted to learn how to code, but guess what? The options were boot camps, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000. I said, I got you. I'm gonna give you everything that you need, $20, right? All of the things that you need. Come in. Oh, you need more help. Oh, you need more help with your portfolio. Oh, you need more help with being accountable, showing up, making sure that you finish, making sure that you have a support network. We got the diamond. We split it up. Gold, diamond. Now we're taking it to a higher tier, right? Where it's like, hey, you need more help. You need actually for people to find you the jobs. You need actually people to go in and do the research for you. You need people to go in and optimize your portfolio. Guess what? This is what we're doing with this new training. So again, we're looking at problems that's happening in different industries. Like, I know coding, and this is why I'm telling you guys, even for anybody that's here, before I leave, if you know how to code, or you're coming from any industry, you know what problems is in there. Write down those problems and figure out how you can solve it with code. This is exactly what I do every day. People ask me, how you make money, Joe? Solving people's problems. That's it. Where the money is at right now in 2022, solving people's problems. That's it. So anyways, guys, it's your boy Joe back at it again, CodingPhase.com. Again, if you want to learn how to code, go to CodingPhase.com. Check the description. I'm going to put in a link to this video here so you guys can go in. I want you guys to go in and learn more about Hyros. Again, I'm not connected to these people, but I want you guys to go in and understand how the software works so you could see how this guy found a problem in the industry, solved it, and it's able to now make millions and millions of dollars. Now you can do the exact same thing for any industry that you have knowledge of, or anyone that you know that's having issues. You can go in and solve their problems the same way how I'm doing it for the landscaping companies. And then once we have these landscaping companies, we could do it for the plumbers. Then we could do it for the construction guys. Like, sky's the limit after that. Any type of service. So again, I'm sharing all of this so you guys have an idea of how you could go in and use code to actually make the big bags. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna stop right here. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.